This is
Okay. Okay. I'm so excited to do my second one.
I'm excited. These are such cute slides.
I really, really, really love Canva. Like so much. I can just sorry, I'm trying to make you guys smaller so I can see everything. And I don't know how. It's okay. We're just gonna go with it. Okay. So the reason I decided to do this topic was because I've been watching our Voxer and all the comments that come in, and I was like, what are like the most common things that people are talking about, because it's like repetitive. It's like, and it's the things that we forget about, like, oh, what do you do for an ear infection? What do you do for pink eye? What do you do if their tummy is upset? What do you do for like a cold? And then along with cold stuff is like respiratory issues. So I was I really wanted to just like touch on all of those on all of those topics. So when I was reading about everything, because I know a lot of stuff, but I don't know everything. So I wanted to just touch on it for anyone that is new or has never really dabbled in essential oils about kid safety, because they are just that they're smaller versions of us. So their skin is a lot more delicate. It's actually thinner, and their little bodies aren't fully developed yet. So when we're working with essential oils, the first thing is we want to research. We want to hit the books, hit Google. doTERRA's website has tons of information. You can even look at the bottom of an oil and find like the number on it. It's like, what do you call that? Like their product. Yeah, their batch number. And and you can search it up. I can't remember what the website is, Whitley.
It's at sourcetoyou.com.
Yeah, that's it. And you can type in that it has like numbers and a letter, and it'll tell you exactly where it was sourced, but also underneath is the expiration date, which is great because you don't know, and they do like expire after a certain amount of time. Another thing is keeping them out of reach from kids. Now in my house I have a drawer, but my youngest is 6 and my oldest is 16. But even my older kids, they still ask me, what should I do? Do I need to mix it with anything? And I still do. I still have them put, like, if they're doing like a drop of, like, say Breathe, they have a cold, I do have them put like a drop or two of fractionated coconut oil in their hands too. Even though my older ones are like 16, 15, 13, I still want to make sure that they're being safe. And then less is more, just like we were talking about. So for a child, one drop is more than enough for them, 2 at the very most. It even says on doTERRA, I looked on their website for the dosage for kids, and it says don't ever use any more than 2, which is why a roller is so great, because they're already pre-diluted for the kids. And just also, when you're doing your research, know what the common side effects could be. The side effects with essential oils is usually really uncommon, but sometimes people, just like some people are allergic to bananas and mangoes and whatever, they're plants, so people could still be allergic to a plant and not know it. So the normal things like an upset stomach, a rash, skin tenderness, itchiness. And then if that happens, you got to stop using it right away, and don't apply any other oil at that time. Just like give it a little bit. When it was Jakey. I'm pretty sure it was Jakey. He was little. He was really little. He had gotten a hold of a peppermint oil, and he had opened it. And he had seen me put it on my hands, and he just was mimicking what I was doing. But he was little. He had to have been like maybe like 4 or 5. And he was barely verbal, and he had gotten it open, and he had put it on, he dumped it on his head. So it was like dripping down into his eyes. So I opened just like a bottle of, because you never want to do water, that will seep it deeper into your skin. So I happened to have out, I was cooking dinner, and I happened to have out olive oil, and I just opened it, and I just like poured some in my hand, and I just like rubbed it all over his face to try to just like absorb all that oil. And then again, no water. I just took a dry towel, and I was just like wiping it. Not a lot got into his eyes, but it was enough that it didn't feel amazing to him. So, and I felt so bad, but it was one of those things. He was a climber, so it didn't matter how high I put something, he always got into it, because we had a hutch, and he got into the top shelf. He was my little crazy one. So
My kids get into my oils all the time, and even like too much. Like my little boy has molluscum, so I've been treating it with oregano and lemongrass.
mhm.
I used the roller, and sometimes it would seep out too much, and he would touch his stomach and then rub his eye, and the same thing. And so I just always would grab the coconut oil. And one time I didn't have an oil near me, and I just grabbed like a lotion, which worked to help just dilute it. But yeah, don't ever use water, because it just intensifies the oil.
Correct. Yes. So there are so many different things that we can use. The diffusing and aromatic, that will support a healthier indoor environment. It enhances feelings of relaxation, encouragement, excitement, focus, and well-being. I have 2 main diffusers upstairs. All of my kids have one in their room. And then I have a bubble diffuser that kind of just like it rotates between bathrooms and entryways. But I always have that going. Yesterday morning, anyone that watched my Instagram story, Joey got up, he got ready for school. He's my 6-year-old. He was doing really great. He had eaten breakfast, and then all of a sudden he started like this awful coughing sound, which I have come to learn is his asthma acting up. So I had already set up my diffusers with harvest spice and peppermint in them, but I just opened them all up, and I put in AirX, and then I applied oils. We did have to use his rescue inhaler, but having the AirX and the oils that I had used on him right away helped his airway tremendously. I noticed that when I put Breathe or AirX in the diffusers, like especially next to his bed, he is able to subside from an asthma attack a lot quicker. doTERRA also has supplements. My kids started taking these A to Z chewables. When I say my kids, I mean my younger ones that, will take them. One of them doesn't love them, but the other one's like, they taste fine. They said that they taste kind of lemony. So I was like, okay, but the other thing that my kids will take on a regular basis, they take it on their own every morning, is the On Guard beadlets. They're so tiny. My 6-year-old can swallow them. So I'm going to show you, if you guys don't know, if you've never used them, that's like how tiny they are. They're so tiny. So they just pop one in their mouth every morning before school. And then if they feel like something coming on, then they'll pop on some more. And then the oils that we always want to dilute unless we're putting in the diffuser. And the touch line is amazing. I have these with supervision. My kids will put, my younger kids will put these on. Joey likes to put them on his feet a lot. So I do that. So the first one I wanted to talk about, the topics I wanted to talk about were ear infections, conjunctivitis, which is pink eye, cold and respiratory issues, and then tummy issues. Those are the things that my kids have struggled with the most in my mom lifetime. So with ear infections, I learned this one from Kelsey, and my daughter was starting an ear infection a couple weeks ago, and we did this. I did 2 drops of basil, lavender, and tea tree on a cotton ball, and I just like tucked it. I just like tucked it right into her ear and just had her lay down and just let it sit there. And then I reapplied every 2 to 3 hours. And by like the second time, she just put them on a cotton ball and stuck it in her ear and was going about her day. I also will take, I don't have a doTERRA tea tree touch. I just made my own, but I have her take tea tree, and then I start at the top of the ear and I just go all the way down the back and down the side of the neck, just to like try to like help all of that infection try to like subside and the oils seep in. One day she was like, her ear was really hurting, and I put peppermint down her spine and on the bottom of her feet, and that really seemed to help her subside with the pain. And I also use garlic mullein drops. I don't know if anyone else has ever used those, but before I started using essential oils, I use those, but I also use those as well. So I'll rotate. I'll do like oils, and then I'll do the mullein drops, and then I'll do oils and the mullein drops. And you can buy those at like any health food store. I swear by them. We always have them on hand. Does anyone have any questions before I move on? We good? Okay. So conjunctivitis is pink eye. That seems to be anyone that has public school goers. That's like one of the most contagious things. And that's something that we've struggled with a lot. My second oldest son has really bad allergies, and he has struggled with that. So we always have things on hand. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I always use tea tree, lavender, and I've noticed rosemary helps. I just roll it with a roller, just like around the whole eye socket is what I do. I don't get it anywhere near the eye. He will just sometimes just lay there with his eyes closed just because his eyes hurt. Keeping the eyes clean, because they get that you can tell like that infection, that gook in the corner of their eyes, and they get all crusty and stuff. I always use a warm compress also, usually not with the oils. I'll like do it like first, like to just pull all of that stuff out of their eyes, and then I'll put oils on. I also will rub frankincense down his spine. That way it's just like, frankincense is really good for, getting infection out of your body and helping your body to heal and repairing everything. So I really love doing that.
I have a friend who uses Neosporin when her kids have pink eye, and she just rubs it right on the eyelid, and then it just kind of like seeps in. And also for styes, that's what she does. And when I heard that, I thought I should use Correct-X on like a pink eye or a stye and see if it works. I've never tried it, but I've always wondered, because there's frankincense in it. What else is in it? Rose?
Helichrysum.
Yeah. And all of those sound so good for like pink eye or a stye.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good idea.
Right?
I'll cut in really quick. But I actually just had a massive stye, and I put the Correct-X on my eye every morning and night, and within 2 days it was gone. I always use Correct-X for like eye infections and styes. It works wonders.
That is so good to know.
I actually had one of my family's good friends is a pharmacist, and he actually told my parents what I mix for styes is literally Neosporin. And so when I heard that, I'm like, oh, I'm totally just going to put Correct X on it, and it works wonders.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's
I'm glad-
awesome. I just wrote that down so I remember.
Me too. Over in the chat, Kelsey said that she loves the garlic drops. I've never heard of those. I want to get them. And Peyton said she wants to do it too. So you guys get the garlic drops. Where do you get them? Just at a health.
Yeah, so here we have a place called Dave's if you need something like right that second, but I just order mine on Amazon. So
Okay.
I have gone there, but it's like really expensive. So I try to like always have a bottle on hand. So I don't have to go spend twice as much. So colds and respiratory issues, especially with it cooling down and winter and fall is going to be upon us. That's when a lot of colds happen, and then respiratory issues. My kids don't love the Breathe cough drops. I love them, I think, but I don't know. My kids have an aversion to mint apparently. So I don't understand it, but I have the Breathe roller that I always have on hand. And I actually have a couple of them that I've made just so if someone has one in their room. My oldest tends to like hoard oils in his room. And I had to go in there yesterday and gather all of our oils because he was like, he had them in there. The other thing that they have is this Breathe Vapor stick, which is really, really great. I personally love it. I use it the most. But my son, who was just diagnosed with asthma, we use the Deep Blue stick. Eden had talked a while ago. I can't remember if it was like on one of our team calls or just online or something, but she talked about using the Breathe stick. So when my son was diagnosed with asthma, we started using this, and it was the biggest difference ever because I tried the Breathe stick and it just like, it helped, but this was like a bigger like impact on him, that he was like able to actually like take a deep breath and breathe. Another thing that I actually use when my kids are all like, especially the little ones, little kids tend to just like, something's wrong with them and they can't always tell us what it is. So I always have my adaptive roller on hand because then that just like kind of calms them down so they can tell me what's wrong, and then I can move forward with that.
I want to say something really quick. My
Go
little
ahead.
boy, when he was like just a few weeks old, he had eczema, but we didn't know it was eczema. They don't really diagnose it until he was like 6 weeks old. And I have the Breathe stick that's more like a thicker, like a vapor rub.
Mhm.
And I put it on his chest one night and it made him kind of break out a little bit. And it was just like right where I put it. So I knew it was the Breathe stick. And so I just steered clear of that. And instead I would just grab the Breathe roller, which I don't know why I didn't already grab the Breathe roller. I just thought I would try that. And he didn't have any irritation. So if your kids have any sort of skin irritation and you're like hesitant to try things, I always would recommend the oil and the touch, like the diluted rollers first before doing like the Breathe stick or the Deep Blue stick, just because those are more like thicker and more pasty. So just keep that in mind if your kids have any sort of like skin issues like mine or sensitivity.
That's a good point. Because the sticks do have, it's not just the oils, there's other things in them as well. So I don't know if Ravinsara, I think I'm
Mhm.
saying that right. I don't know if that's one that's just out of stock or is not sold all the time.
Yeah, it's a specialty oil. Actually, a couple months ago, it was the free product of the month. It was
Yeah,
like May or June. I can't remember. It
yes.
smells beautiful though.
It's
beautiful.
amazing, but I haven't been able to get a eucalyptus because they've been out of stock. So I have that one and it has eucalyptus in it. So I was using that in a roller for him as well. until I can get eucalyptus. But again, Airx comes like this in a bottle, just like, oh, sorry, just like this. And this is my second bottle. The first one I got, I think, was in the BOGO box in March. And I tried it, and it just like it made a huge difference. I was reading about all the different oils, and I was reading about it, and it said that it's one of the ones that's great for respiratory issues. So if you have like today, like where we live, it's smoky today because there's a fire or some fires going on. And so I made sure I had it in my diffusers this morning, even though my kids aren't home right now. It's still like cleaning out the air and everything in our home. So, and then sorry, I'm just reading the text.
Yeah. So
what is the difference between Purify and Airx? I personally love the smell of Airx better. Whitley, do you have?
So Purify is more like it purifies things. The Airx does too. It purifies the air. Everything that we diffuse, all of the oils, they have purifying properties, right? Some of them just smell good, but a lot of them do purify the air. But Purify is one that you'll use for like, it has more uses than I would. So like Airx is more like a candle replacement in my mind, but Purify for me is like, I make it, put it in my laundry soap. I put it in stinky shoes for my kids. Eden has put it on those little wool things and puts them in her garbage cans. You can put it down your disposal. It literally just makes anything that's stinky not stink. So you can put it in like your countertop spray. I don't think Purify smells amazing, but it is definitely, it's somehow has the power to make whatever stinks not stink. It's amazing. I think Peyton uses it. It's a really, and I have it in my laundry, and it actually makes my laundry smell incredible. So
I also have it in a roller for my middle son and my husband. He took him to soccer practice, and they were right by the Jordan River at one of the parks there, and they were just covered. It was raining, and they came home covered in mosquito bites. So I made a roller, and they put them all over their mosquito bites, and within 2 days, all their mosquito bites were gone. So Purify,
it's
like,
amazing for bug bites.
yes,
Amazing. It's like an anti-itching property. It's
yeah, my son is 11 now, and he was like sleeping with it, and my husband was like, where's the roller? And I was like, I think he took it to his room. And he couldn't find it, and so he came up, he's like, will you make me another one? And I was like, so I have like 3 rollers for that. But it's amazing. But I agree, Airx is a candle replacement, but I've also noticed that like it's not as strong as Purify, and I don't love the smell either, really. But I do use Purify in my laundry soap and my kitchen and cleaning needs. So go ahead.
I have one thing. Sorry. I was gonna say, I don't know, like everyone in my house loves bacon. So like for me, I use Purify right after I cook bacon because I don't love the after smell of bacon. So yeah, I just thought I would share that. I love using it after I cook bacon.
That's a great idea.
It's a really amazing oil. It's like, it's not the best smelling oil, but it literally gets rid of all the stinky smells. It's amazing.
Yeah, especially if you have a house full of boys. Like I have it specifically in my bathroom cleaner spray because that goes to all the boys' bathrooms, and my boys, like once they hit teenagehood, I was like, oh my goodness. Let's see, Peyton said, I didn't love Purify in the beginning, but once I saw the way it got rid of odor, I loved it. I agree, Peyton. Okay, I'm just making sure that I got everything. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was doTERRA has a diffuser that's also a humidifier, if I'm saying it right. I don't personally have it yet. It's on my wish list to get soon. But I did see one at Sid's house and I'm super excited to get one. Does anybody have one that's
Peyton
useful?
has one, right? Peyton? Do you have the
Sorry,
humidifier?
I missed it. What was it that
You
you?
have the humidifier and the diffuser, the Donna.
Yes,
You
I
love it,
love
right?
it too. Yeah.
I love it so much. I don't use it every night, but when he's congested, I diffuse it in his room, and it helps so much with any of his congestion so quickly. And it's
It's
really
big
cool.
too, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
almost a foot tall.
It's big, and it like sorry, it like regulates, is that the word? I can type it in the chat, but it like doesn't just always let out the humidifier. It like regulates the humidity in the air in the room.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay,
gonna
that's
say,
cool.
and it has like a sleep mode too. So like if your kiddos are going to sleep or something, so that the mist or the humidifier isn't so strong, you can push the sleep mode button and then it kind of like lightens up the mist and the humidifier part. So it's supposed to be really good for like while you're sleeping as well and regulating while you're sleeping.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, it's on my wish
Veronica?
list. Yes.
I was gonna say it is the easiest humidifier I've ever bought to clean and to refill. Easiest. Also, they have it at right now, I think, with eucalyptus. So like it's like a bundle. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say. But I love it. I couldn't live without it.
Yeah, I just told my husband that it's one of the next ones I want to get just because I feel like it will really help him, you know, when he's having an asthma attack, to prevent an asthma attack kind of thing. So once we know. So anyways, okay, tummy issues. So this is a pretty common thing with little kids. My children are susceptible more to tummy issues because of their genetics. My husband has a lot of issues. He had to have a surgery for it. Anyways, so one thing that I always have, and I actually have several of them made already, is the Digestion Touch. So I have the one from doTERRA, but then I have several that I've just made because I have so many kids that have GERD. And then my daughter uses it when, you know, it's that time of month and her tummy's just upset. Also, Peppermint Touch. I will take my peppermint and sorry, I'm looking for it. I don't have it, but I will take my peppermint when I had indigestion. When I have it, I will actually just like start right here and just rub it down right here. And for some reason, it just like, it helps like all the acid that's like in my throat. I don't know why, but I will also rub it on my stomach. The other thing that my family uses is the Digestion tablets. They basically are doTERRA's Tums. They're chewable, they're small. They don't taste amazing. You can definitely taste the Digestion and they're super minty from the peppermint. But if like that's something hard to stomach, you just like chew them really fast and just like drink some water or something. So I actually gave some to my sister who's pregnant to try for her morning sickness, and she uses the rollers that I gave her a lot. And then this month with the LRP order, everyone got from the kids line Tamer. And my son used it the other night and he said it smelled so much better than the other one because he doesn't love the smell of the Digestion. He's like, I don't like that one. He doesn't like putting it on if he needs it before school. But
Yeah,
this one,
I'm used to Digestion because it does stink, but because it helps so much and it's almost immediate relief for me, it's one of my favorite oils, like hands down. I know it smells funky, but the benefits and how quickly it works, Digestion is amazing for me.
Yeah, it's so great. And it's really good. Like I said, like if you're like going through that, you know, the time of the month, it's really great for that too as well. So I love it. So also something else I forgot to mention with the other things is if your kids are having like a really hard time like calming down because they're upset, you know, because they're in pain. The other thing that I rub on my kids' feet and spine is Copaiba, is the Copaiba touch. And that will just like really, it just like calm, because it calms down your nervous system. So it just like, it really, really helps. So, and sometimes I'll just do that at night for them when they go to sleep as well. I also have, my kids have like in their backpacks, the On Guard hand sanitizer, just because all my kids go to public school. And I mean, they say that they clean them, but they would have to be cleaning them around the clock, in my opinion, to be like perfectly mom clean. So, but these are the things that I have found that have helped my family, and I hope that they help your family too. I don't know if anyone is new here, but this month for me, I am doing a special giveaway. And like when you make an order, I have like this, you can pick a number, and then under the number is one of these items that you can win. And then the doTERRA is also doing like a an incentive as well for extra like PV points as well. So but that's really all I have. Did anyone have any questions? I don't think anyone did.
That was so awesome. Thank you, Veronica. I love learning about those new things. And I love that Shailene testified that CorrectX actually does work for styes.
I
wonder
know,
how-
I'm so excited.
That's really awesome.
Thank you, Veronica, for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody.
Will you give us the recording if we have anyone asking for it in the Voxer?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm trying to oh, here we go.